Hey, Greg. Nice and loud. Wanted to get your general thoughts on the game. The first half certainly being up 2-0. Maybe you guys deserved it. Maybe you didn't. Then giving up 3 goals in the second half and coming back to tie it too. Sounds like a little roller coaster out there.
Yeah, it was. I think, as you mentioned, we're up 2 goals in the first half, but we were still having some issues just, organizing the defensive side of things so that we could be, more aggressive. We could dictate where they were playing better than we did. We could recover balls in better spots. I just felt like we were a little disconnected in our movements, and they were able to hold possession. They didn't create a ton in the first half, but I felt coming in at 2-0 that I was still a little uncomfortable with the defensive side of things in terms of managing it, again, winning balls in better spots. And so we came out in the second half and we were even more disconnected in the beginning of the second half. We were too deep in the back, too high in the front. Our wingers were stepping to their wide center backs instead of connecting with our fullbacks to defend, and there was just so much space between our lines, and they took advantage of it. We turned over balls in transition moments. Again, some of that just being disconnected on the defending side. So I just felt like we were, in trying to get to a position, it was recognizing the moments of, are we pressing or are we sitting in a mid-lower block? And we were executing our pressing movements when we should have been executing our lower block movements, and that just had us separated. So I saw that happening. I didn't see the solution on the field happening, so we decided to go to a back 5, which was to manage kind of the 2 strikers and the guys who were rolling underneath. I felt like that would give our back line maybe a little more confidence to be aggressive with some of those players who were between the lines, and it would clear up who's stepping to who, and the reference points would be a lot clearer. Unfortunately, we gave up a goal before we got settled into that off of a set piece scenario. But then I felt like once we got comfortable, once we got settled into it, then I felt like we took the game back over. It was clear again on the defensive side. We were able to be more aggressive. We were able to start our attacks and got some finished attacks out of that. So I felt like we took the game back a little bit after we gave that one up. But for stretches of the game, we just didn't have the collective defending side of it wasn't clear enough. They came out in a 3-4-1-2 versus a 4-2-3-1 and we just didn't get the reference point situated. Again, whether we were pressing or whether we were sitting in a low block, we were just kind of in between a little bit.
Seattle's the only team that you guys scored on first whenever you went up to Seattle. It's the only team that came back to beat you, and they almost did it again. What does that say maybe about them, and what does it say about you guys?
Yeah, they're a mature team. They've played in a lot of big games, important games. They've got a lot of guys who've been around for a long time, and they've got guys who can kill you when they get opportunities. And so that's why I wasn't very comfortable at 2-0 still. I still felt like we needed to get the defending side of things clear because I felt like they still have guys who can punish you if given the chance, and they still had more than their fair share of the possession. So they're a mature team who is fighting for their lives a little bit right now as it comes to the playoff scenario. So it's not surprising that they didn't just roll over and let us take the game. So as for us, I liked I think the mentality was good for us to keep pushing and to get something out of this game in the end. When I look at it as 2 points lost, but 1 point gained, I guess, in the end. So everything matters right now down the stretch.
Hey, Greg, it seems when you're facing Seattle, it's almost like a game of chess between you and Brian. Your last move there, bringing on Zavaleta, was that to go to a 5-man back, but a 3-5-2 going forward? Yeah,
we went to more like a 3-4-3, which, like I said, it kind of cleared up our reference points in terms of how we were going to defend them and press them. Our wing backs could get to their wing backs. Our 3 center backs could deal with their 2 strikers. Our midfielders could work more next to each other. I felt like it was clearer for us once we got situated as to how we were going to deal with their numbers and where their numbers were. This third goal, I think it was, our fullback, when we were still in a 4, released out to get to their wing back, and Rui Diaz goes through that space. We don't follow him. He then puts the ball in front of the goal, and we give up a goal, right? When we go to the 3 in the back, that space doesn't exist anymore. He can't run through that space. We were more comfortable getting out to press things. So we were trying to as much close things off on the defensive side, because then we could win the ball in better spots and start our attacks in better areas. So the switch to the 5 was, again, try to close up some of those defensive holes that I felt like we weren't covering very well tonight.
Greg, I know it was a tough game, but what did you make of the minutes that Riqui had in his debut?
Good. Again, he was dynamic. He is getting the ball moving. He's moving around the field, getting a feel for his teammates, getting a feel for the league, the group. But you can see how shifty and quick he is, and he can get between lines and get to the next line. By the time they get in and we give up a goal, it becomes pretty compact and dense again, because now they're defending a lead not too far after they came onto the field, and so. Or before they came onto the field, one of the two. So it was dense in that space. So it was hard to kind of create on the attacking side. So you had to roll out a little bit, pick up balls a little bit lower, try to orchestrate things from a deeper position. But today he was good when he came on, and I think he'll continue to build in that. I mean, the kid has incredible quality. So it just was a game that was a little bogged down by the time he got into it, but still was able to find some good moments.
Looking at the positives, as you mentioned, down the stretch and every point counts, just how important is it in a game against a team like Seattle that keeps going at it, when just the mentality of how the team wanted to still fight and learning to close those games when you have the opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, that's MLS down the stretch. That's teams that are fighting for their lives. They have nothing to lose. They have whatever those things are. They have the mentality of a Seattle who's won championships and has done a lot together. It's being able to play every minute like it's a final. It's being able to stay together, know how you want to protect yourselves in moments where you have a lead and maybe you don't have the ball, but you still protect yourself and you don't give away things. That was something that we just didn't manage well in the first part of the second half, but again, the response to come back and get something out of the game is important. Again, I said to the guys, I remember last year when we went to RSL and we gave up a last-second goal. It's in stoppage time on a throw-in that was in their half the field, ends up in the back of our net, and we lost a point, and that ends up being the difference between us making the playoffs and them making the playoffs. So every point down the stretch matters. Fighting to get even one at the end is important. You don't know how important until it all closes out, but it was an important win. It keeps them behind us, and it keeps us taking a step forward.
Greg, Sam and Kevin obviously didn't have as much space to run as they did in the Vancouver game, so maybe not as much success, but Kevin had a chance to put you guys up 3-1. He misses that ball on the goal line. Are you getting what you need out of both of those guys, and particularly Kevin?
Yeah, look, it's a redundant conversation really when it comes to it. He gives us running, depth running, transition running. He'll give us an honest defensive work rate to help Jules in covering some of those things. So he gives us some of the things that not everybody gives. He covers a lot of ground in high speed, and he gets in front of the goal. We don't have another winger who's going to get in the front of the goal in that situation, probably because he's the one that does the running. So. Does he finish as much as we'd like him to or need to? No, we know that. So it's a balance between you get some of the work rate and sprinting and the running and some of the effort stuff, but we still want to see those balls in the back of the net. Everybody, when I say we, the whole fans, everybody wants to see that in the back of the net, and that's the expectation. So, yeah, it's going to be a decision that I have to make moving forward about, is it the work rate, is it the running, is it that, or is it Douglas's sharpness, his quickness, his ability on balance, things like that. I think Sam gives us an honest work rate. He's been able to I think in the last 2 games have some impact moments. Like you said, for our wingers, wasn't always easy tonight for them to find their moments, but again, I think both of them give us something behind the back line that nobody else really gives us, and that's what they bring to our team that nobody else does, to be honest. All right. Thank you.
Hey, Jonathan.
Hi.
What are your feelings about the game? You guys are up 2-0 at halftime, give up 3 unanswered goals, get a penalty kick to sort of tie it. Back and forth roller coaster. What did you see from back there?
Yeah, disappointed, considering that we were 2-0 up at half-time and in full control. Obviously, it's disappointing only to come away with a point, but never know, it could be an important point at the end of the season. They're a good team as well. They have a lot of quality all throughout their team, and I think they showed that at times, caused us a few problems. But yeah, I just felt like maybe we got a little bit tired and the game got a little bit stretched, and then everyone's there's lots of space everywhere.
Do you worry about this team's mentality, taking a 2-0 lead at halftime, giving up 3 goals? I mean, Seattle is the only team to do that to you guys whenever you've scored first. So they beat you up in Seattle whenever that happened. In this case, you guys get a draw, but it seems like a little bit of a pattern in some ways. When the goals start coming in, they keep going in.
Yeah, I think maybe we're a bit of an emotional team. I think maybe we've discussed that before, but I think the first half we did well to score our 2 goals, but it probably, maybe they would have felt a little bit unfair being 2-0 down at half time. We got obviously a well-timed goal in terms of just before half time for the second one. And then, it's just up to us to kind of take advantage of that. But, we defended pretty well actually throughout the first half, considering how much possession they had, I thought, in the first half. But, like I said, they're a good team. And at the end of the day, it could be an important point.
Can you guys take momentum from this, or is this, Greg say we lost 2 points, but maybe we gained a point. Can you take momentum into this road trip that you guys are going into that's not going to be an easy road trip?
I think so. I think we had a good game against Vancouver. Then obviously a good first half against Seattle. We talk about maybe some kind of emotional, or did you mention fragility or whatever it was, but to come back and score an equaliser in a third does show some character to do that. And then honestly, there was only one team pushing for the fourth. It wasn't like it went 3-3 and then we sat in. We were pushing for the winner, and they were very much happy to kind of take the point in the end.
Hey, John, could you sort of, if you remember their last, maybe their second and third goal, where you saw the breakdowns come through? I think Rui Diaz had the header in the second, I think, and Morris had the tap in on the third.
Yeah, the second one was kind of a crazy passage of play, I think, where I think we gave it away somewhere, and then the guy had a shot and hit the crossbar. Then we couldn't get it clear. Then he had another shot, hit the post, and we never quite got it. Never got settled in that kind of passage of play. And then Jules made a good block on the line, and then like I said, we never got it clear. And is that the one that we thought was offside? I think maybe. And then honestly, it's a good header, but we'd like to maybe do a few things differently. We've got plenty of chances within that passage of play to kind of to kill it. The third goal, it was from a set piece, I think, maybe second phase. It's a whipped in cross, and then the centre back, I think, headed it. I've just kind of blocked it with my arm, and then it just fell straight to one of their other players. And at that time we were looking kind of a little bit under pressure, and they were pushing. Their confidence was up. We've just lost a 2-goal lead, so it wasn't an easy moment of the game, but. It's at the moment we have to do better to make it more difficult for teams to score against us.
Jonathan, I know the raw emotions after a game like this, it's tough, but looking at the positives down the stretch, how much of a lesson can this be so that further on you guys can close out games when you're up 2-0 like you guys were?
Yeah, honestly, I don't think that's been a problem so far this season. I don't have the exact statistics, but every time that we've kind of gone ahead, especially at half time, we tend to be pretty solid and see the game through, and we don't concede, touch wood, that many late goals, and we've been okay. It's just I think our problem's been the first half of games where we concede, and then we concede another quick one, and then suddenly we've got a mountain to climb, we're chasing a game. So it was the other way around. We were 2-0 up in this game, and I kind of feel like we're starting games a lot better now. We're also incorporating new players. Obviously, Riqui came in, Gaston's looked at home, I think there are good signs. I really do.
I was going to ask about that. I know it's a tough game, but what did you see from Riqui in his debut?
Yeah, I felt maybe there was a point in the game where it was either 2-1 or 2-2, and we were a little bit tense, a little bit tired, and when we're trying to play out, we were maybe having a little bit of trouble, and they were kind of man for man. We were under a lot of pressure, and I think his first touch, he came from his number 10 or number 8 position all the way and demanded it off me, and I gave it to him, and then it was big bravery really at that point in the game to come and get the ball off me, and yeah, kind of as an example of that that Barcelona, give me the ball, I'll deal with it, yeah, that kind of character. So he's a top player, he's played at the top level, so we're hoping that he can help us in a big way.
We have one last one on Zoom with Sophie Nicolo. See, Sophie, go ahead.
Hi, Sophie.
Last time we spoke, talked about maybe kind of what people lost in translation from training to on the pitch. What was the mood like this week in training? What were you seeing, and how was the mood in the dressing room after the game tonight? Thanks.
The mood's been good, obviously, after a win, and it was a good win, 5-2. Yeah, spirits have been good, mood has been good, and you know, everyone is a little bit disappointed in there. It's kind of a mixed feelings because it could have been a lot worse. But yeah, we were disappointed to give them the 2-goal lead away. It's one of those things, you know, we keep Seattle behind us, we get a point. So we do take a small step forward, and we get to learn from some of the things that happen, kind of thing. It's not like we're learning within a scenario where we're getting kind of booed off the pitch and we've got to kind of regroup and find something again. So yeah, it's really mixed emotions, to be honest. But yeah, it was a good penalty from Decky, and we'll take the point.
Thanks for your time, Bondi.
Thanks, guys. See you later.
Wanted to get your thoughts on the game. Obviously, you guys go into halftime 2 goals up. They give up 3 unanswered goals and come back to tie it. But what'd you see out there? What happened?
Well, good night. What I say in the locker room after the game, I told to the guys, I think it's about consistency. I think, honestly, it wasn't the best first half for us, but we scored 2 goals. We were like sharp in front of the goal that we really needed, and we were saying in the last couple of weeks. Then we were confident that the game was going in our side. But like I said at the beginning, we started the second half maybe a little casual again. We didn't show that we want to score the 3rd goal. Of course, Seattle, everyone knows it's a good team. They have guys that they play good football. They have a good striker like Raúl Ruiz Díaz that he can score a goal just from nothing. And then we let them come back on the game. I think it's our mistake again. I think playing at home, knowing that we are in the playoff, it's a big game. If you win this game, you know that you leave Seattle 4 points below us with 1 game in our hand, and we didn't show it again. Of course, at the end, it's a good point because we were losing 2-3, and of course, Decky show up again and he scored a good penalty, and we have to understand what it is. But again, I say to the guys many times, it's about consistency. We cannot win 1 game and then play this game in the weekend like, okay, we go again here, but if we win, it's fine. If we don't win, it's again like up and downs, you know? And this is what is the feeling from me and from, I think, from the staff, from the players. We have to keep this consistency because I think it's been long time that we didn't win 2 games in a row. And we are losing 2 games in a row, but we don't win 2 in a row. Then, again, it's about consistency. And for example, these teams like Seattle, like Philadelphia, all these teams, they have this consistency, and we need that to be in the playoff and to fight for the championship.
You warned us, I think, after the Vancouver game because you guys gave up 2 pretty casual goals in that one. You said if we continue to do that, we're going to have problems, right? Is that what happened today?
Yeah, maybe not the same because I think it was more like individual mistakes. Against Vancouver today is a bit more like, I don't want to say like lack of confidence because we have it, the confidence, but sometimes when we get casual, it's like they take a lot of profit from us, you know, and we don't take this profit from them. Today, I think our goals, it was more like 2 good actions from us to nice goals, and for them, it's too easy for them to make goals. And like I said, we were playing at home, leading the game to 0. We have to show more in the second half and score the third goal like against Vancouver, and then you kill the game. And then you can play more like with confidence, move the ball around, and build also this confidence for what is coming ahead, you know?
This was your second goal in 2 games now. Your son's still here visiting. I think there were some people asking whether or not you were going to let him go back. If he keeps staying, you keep scoring. Did you mean to shoot that? Was that a shot or a cross or?
It was more a shot because I saw the goalkeeper like a bit out from the goal, you know, but it was just kind of between, I have to be honest. I tried to shoot to the goal, but the goal, it looks more than it's amazing goal, of course, but I didn't want to put it just right in the corner. But I saw Frey like a bit out of the goal, and then I tried it, and it works. Yeah.
Hey, Victor, you're talking about consistency, but compare that to early in the year. Do you think you guys are headed in the right direction here?
Sorry, again?
You talked about consistency there. Compare the effort from early in the year to right now. You think this group is headed in the right direction?
In the right direction we are, because we are still in the playoff. But the word consistency means that to win like games in a row, to win one game and go to the next one and show again that you want to win, that you want to be champion, that you want to fight for everything. And today, like I say, the first half, it wasn't pretty from us, but I think we were under the control. We had the control. We played a few times good football. We scored 2 amazing goals. But yeah, at the end it's the same. When you are winning one game and you don't win the next one, we feel again that we are not getting where we want. And then we have 2 games on the road that is going to be very tough to win this kind of games because New England is doing good, Toronto is doing good, and you play 2 difficult games. Today it was a must 3 points game. Like I said, if we won today, we leave Seattle like 4 points below us, and we didn't. We came back. It's a good point. At the end, it's a good point because you are still where you want to be, but we need much more from each other.
Hey, Victor, how are you? You're getting closer to decision day, and there's some nervousness among the fan base. What would you say as we're getting closer to decision day? What would you say to them? And then, is there any nervousness or sense of worry in the dressing room?
No, worry. There is no worries. We are confident about our group, about the team. We are still in the playoff. That it's really important at the stage we are in the season. It's 9 games left, and like we said at the beginning of the game, every game it's a final now, and you have to play like a playoff game. Doesn't matter if you play New England or you play San Jose or you play Vancouver. Every game it's a final, and you have to win to be in the playoff because it's very tight. I think we are 5 or 6 teams with 34, 33, and 32 points. It's just one game. You lose one game, you are out. Then you have to win. And today, we try to show it. Then Seattle, it's a big team. It's a good team. They show it in the second half. I think it's 2 ways sometimes. We are all or not nothing, but we are all or we are kind of in between. And then when you are too casual or kind of between, the other teams also play good football. They have good players. And then happens things like it happened today. And if we want to be there and fight for the championship, we have to play every game until the end of the season, until the 34th game, like a final. And then go game by game and take 3 points every game. And now, like I say, it's 2 games on the road that we should take at least 4 points.
Víctor, gusto saludarte. Un poquito, ya lo explicabas en inglés, pero si nos hablas de tu gol, lo que viste en ese momento para hacer el disparo.
Bueno, como pasó un poco contra Vancouver, yo siempre intento, cuando controlo la pelota y tengo espacio, mirar un poco al portero, donde está situado. Con Vancouver el portero también estaba un poco más como el segundo palo, entonces cuando Chicha me dio la pared y pude controlar y mirar al portero, pues golpeé rápido al primer palo. Y hoy es un poco similar. Sí que es verdad que hoy intento tirar a gol lo más fuerte posible y donde vaya la pelota, porque estoy en una distancia más larga, pero sí que veo a Frey un poco salido de la portería y bueno, el balón va perfecto al ángulo y bueno, tengo que decir también, soy realista, es un poco de suerte, pero sí que intentas buscar que el balón vaya a gol.
Hablabas de esas pláticas que habían tenido, de como parte de los líderes ser más finos, sobre todo a la hora de la definición. tú has marcado, Chicharito ha marcado, que habla de eso precisamente que se dicen entre ustedes.
Sí, al final lo que decía es volver a tener esa confianza de frente del gol, porque no la estábamos teniendo. Creo que para las alturas de campeonato que llevamos muy pocos goles. Creo que ahora Chicha y Deki están a la par con 10 goles, y creo que después los jugadores que vienen tienen 2 o 3 goles. Nadie tiene más de 3 goles. Entonces creo que también los jugadores de atrás, o los extremos, o gente como Sam, como Kevin, como Douglas, como Deki, cuando está toda esta gente que tiene gol, tendrían que dar también un paso adelante, porque necesitamos de ellos. Y también lo que venimos diciendo, intentar conceder menos goles, porque veníamos haciendo un buen trabajo hace un mes atrás y ahora estamos volviendo a conceder demasiados goles, y sobre todo en casa, donde no tendríamos que conceder tantos goles. Vancouver salió bien porque al final marcas goles, pero concedimos 2 goles que no tendríamos que haberlo hecho, y hoy vuelve a pasar lo mismo. 3 goles que te hacen otra vez intentar remontar el partido, y al final no puedes ganar cuando lo tenías todo de cara para ganarlo.
Y una última, ¿cómo ha sido la llegada de Riqui al equipo? Dijo en su presentación que ha sido como un papá para él, ayudándolo, apoyándolo, y bueno, el día de hoy dejarle el lugar en la cancha para que él pudiera debutar.
Bueno, para mí es un placer tener a Riqui aquí, ya lo he dicho muchas veces, nos va a dar mucho, se tiene que adaptar muy rápido a la liga porque solo quedan 9 partidos, pero bueno, con los minutos que le dio hoy Greg, yo creo que va a tener esa confianza. Es un jugador con personalidad, que no se va a esconder, que va a querer la pelota, que aunque sea pequeñito, si tiene que ir fuerte al balón va a ir, porque yo lo he visto jugar muchas veces. Y bueno, ya le dije, estoy aquí para todo, para ayudarle, como a todos mis otros compañeros, pero claro, al tener esa conexión, también el idioma y todo es más fácil. Y bueno, pues con su familia, mi familia que también estaba aquí ahora, pues hemos intentado que se aclimatara lo más rápido posible. Pero bueno, es un chaval muy inteligente que se va a aclimatar muy rápido, también habla inglés, o sea que lo va a tener fácil, pero aquí me tiene para todo lo que necesite.